The scent of burnt toast and stale coffee, that was the aroma of our Tuesday mornings. Anna, my wife of 10 years, would be meticulously applying her mascara, a silent ritual that seemed to wall her off from the world, from me. We moved around each other like well-oiled, disconnected cogs in a machine that was supposed to be a life, a marriage. The silence wasn't hostile, not anymore. It was worse, it was indifferent. I'd try, sometimes. Anything interesting happen at work yesterday, love? A shrug. A non-committal hum. The highlights of her day were reserved for her group chat, a vibrant digital space I wasn't privy to. I was Liam, the provider, the stable backdrop to her more colorful existence. Then Chloe walked into my life, or rather, into the conference room at the marketing firm where I worked. She was a whirlwind of bright colors and laughter, a stark contrast to the muted grays of my existence. Her eyes, a startling shade of hazel, seemed to see something in me that I'd long forgotten was there. We were assigned to the same project, a grueling campaign that demanded late nights and endless brainstorming. The first time she laughed at one of my dry jokes, a genuine, unrestrained laugh, it felt like a forgotten switch had been flipped inside me. Just coffee, I told myself, after that first late night when she suggested we grab one to keep going. A colleague, a friend. The lies we tell ourselves are often the most insidious. Coffee turned into lingering lunches, discussions that veered from work to dreams, to fears, to the small, intricate details of our lives. Or at least, my life as I presented it, carefully omitting the growing chasm at home. Lunches turned into hushed phone calls after Anna was asleep, the glow of my phone screen illuminating my face as I whispered into the receiver, heart pounding with a mixture of exhilaration and terror. Each stolen moment was a jolt, a dangerous, addictive spark. I felt alive, seen. But with every laugh shared with Chloe, a shard of guilt pierced deeper into my conscience. I started noticing the little things more, or perhaps, the absence of them. The way Anna no longer touched my arm when she passed me in the hallway. The way our dinner conversations revolved around logistics, bills, groceries, whose turn it was to take out the recycling. The shared jokes, the easy intimacy, the lazy Sunday mornings tangled in sheets. They were memories, faded photographs in an album I hadn't opened in years. With Chloe, everything felt new, vibrant. She'd lean in close when I spoke, her perfume a subtle, intoxicating scent. Her hand would brush mine, a fleeting, electric touch that sent shivers down my spine. I was living a double life, and the strain was beginning to show. I was more irritable at home, quicker to snap, desperate to escape back into the intoxicating bubble of my affair. The rain was lashing against the window of her apartment, a dramatic soundtrack to the inevitable. We'd been working late, again. Or that's what I'd told Anna. One glass of wine led to another. One shared glance held a fraction too long. The air crackled. "Liam," she whispered, her voice husky, and then her lips were on mine. The world outside, my life with Anna, the vows I'd made, faded into a distant hum. In Chloe's arms, I was a different man, reckless, desired, alive in a way I hadn't been for so long. It was a potent, destructive cocktail. The guilt was there, a gnawing beast in my gut, but it was drowned out by the intoxicating rush of the forbidden. Returning home that night, the smell of Anna's lavender detergent on the clean sheets felt like an accusation. She was asleep, her breathing soft and even, oblivious. I slipped into bed, careful not to touch her, the scent of Chloe's perfume clinging to my skin like a brand. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, my heart a tangled mess of euphoria and self-loathing. This was it. I had crossed a line. There was no going back, only deeper into the deceit. The affair continued, a clandestine dance of stolen afternoons, whispered endearments, and carefully constructed alibis. I became an expert liar. Client dinner. Working late on the Anderson account. Team-building event. Each lie was a small chip taken from the foundation of my marriage, from my own integrity. I'd shower meticulously before going home, scrubbing away Chloe's scent, her touch, but I couldn't scrub away the guilt that was now my constant companion. I saw the flicker of suspicion in Anna's eyes sometimes, the way her smile didn't quite reach them when I came home late yet again. But she never pressed. Perhaps she didn't want to know. Or perhaps she trusted me, a thought that twisted the knife in my gut even further. The crash came on a Sunday. A lazy, deceptively normal Sunday. I'd left my phone on the kitchen counter, a careless mistake born from the arrogance of believing I was too smart to get caught. A message from Chloe lit up the screen. Last night was incredible. Can't stop thinking about you. XOXO. Anna saw it. I walked in from the garden to find her standing there, phone in her hand, her face a mask of such profound betrayal it stole the air from my lungs. The vibrant color had drained from her cheeks, leaving her looking pale and fragile, like a porcelain doll on the verge of shattering. "Who is she, Liam?" Her voice was a whisper, raw and broken. Not accusatory, not yet. Just hollow. The carefully constructed dam of my deceit burst. The excuses, the half-truths I'd rehearsed in my mind for this very eventuality, all sounded pathetic, even to my own ears. There was no justification for the pain I saw in her eyes, a reflection of a man I no longer recognized as myself. I confessed. The whole sordid, selfish story tumbled out, each word another blow to the woman I had promised to love and cherish. The days that followed were a blur of hushed, agonized conversations, slammed doors, and the deafening silence of an empty bed. I slept on the sofa, the cushions offering little comfort against the cold reality of what I'd done. Anna didn't scream, didn't rage, not in the way I'd almost expected, or perhaps, morbidly hoped for. Her quiet sorrow was far more devastating. She packed a bag a week later. "I need space," she'd said, her voice devoid of emotion, her eyes carefully avoiding mine. "I need to think." Space. It sounded like a chasm, a void I'd single-handedly created. The front door closed with a soft, final click, a sound that echoed the breaking of something irreplaceable within me. Chloe? The vibrant connection flickered and died almost immediately under the harsh glare of reality. The thrill was gone, replaced by the sordid truth of what we'd done, the collateral damage I had wrought. Our conversations became strained, tinged with a shared discomfort, the ghost of Anna's pain hanging between us. The fantasy couldn't survive the wreckage of my actual life. She faded away, another casualty, another ghost in the ruins I had created. It turned out, the excitement was never truly about Chloe. It was about the escape, the novelty, the selfish pursuit of a feeling I thought I was missing. Alone in the house that was once our home, the silence was no longer indifferent, it was accusing. Every object, every photograph, was a testament to what I had shattered. The scent of burnt toast was gone, replaced by the sterile smell of takeout containers and my own unwashed laundry. I'd chased a fleeting spark and set my entire world on fire. I replayed our 10 years together, not the perceived slights or the growing distance, but the small moments of joy, the shared laughter, the comfortable companionship I had mistaken for boredom. I had possessed a quiet, steady warmth and traded it for a fleeting, destructive inferno. Months later, the divorce papers arrived. Clinical. Final. The weight of my actions settled upon me, heavy and suffocating. The profound lesson wasn't about the allure of the forbidden or the excitement of the new. It was about the devastating, irreparable cost of betrayal. It was about the slow erosion of self that happens when you prioritize fleeting desires over enduring love, when you mistake a flicker for a flame. Trust, once broken, is like a shattered mirror. You can try to piece it back together, but the cracks will always remain, a permanent reminder of the damage. I had sought validation outside my marriage, only to find myself utterly invalidated, a hollow shell of the man I thought I was, or perhaps, the man Anna once believed me to be. The price of that fleeting escape was my integrity, her heart, and the quiet comfort of a life I hadn't known how to cherish until it was irrevocably gone. The deepest truth, I learned, etched in the lonely silence of my empty house, is that the most profound connections are not found in illicit whispers and stolen moments, but are forged, and must be actively maintained, in the shared daylight of honesty, commitment, and the quiet courage to face the mundane together, rather than fleeing from it alone.